Wow. I mean, do you have any thoughts? I mean, I don't follow the Blues too much to really understand how the front office works, but I mean, are we talking a shakeup at the general manager level?
Well, it has to be. And now remember, Doug Armstrong is the general manager and the president of hockey operations. So maybe they are announcing a general manager, and then Doug Armstrong is going to be still. Again, this whole hypotheticals, right?
Right.
There's nothing concrete. This is just me thinking. What are the scenarios? Again. Again, fans are like saying like maybe Steen might be the general manager in waiting, right? And that's a good pick if that happens. But again, right now we just don't know a lot. Again, we'll know everything at 10 a.m.
I mean, wow. So, I mean, what's some of the reaction just in your circle? You know, was this something that people are texting about this morning?
No, it's like it's no secret that the Blues are a little bit hamstring, not a little bit, a lot of hamstrung with the cap because they're basically in the cap right now, so they cannot make any moves that will not affect their tax situation, right? So there's a little hamstrung there. Again, it's like, and also I can just see the other side of this. It's like, again, Doug Armstrong did everything that he could do as the St. Louis Blue, and maybe there's a plan not next year, but next 2-3 years to find somebody to replace him, and he can retire being the general manager of Canadian hockey, right, for the national team.
Well, it's just amazing. I mean, this is kind of fun to talk about this morning then because of how
it is.
I mean, this is developing news this morning. I mean, so wow. Now here's the synopsis. I mean, what happens if they said we're just getting rid of them all around? I mean, can they get rid of them at the operational level?
Well, here's the thing. Again, I'll know a lot. Again, we'll know everything together, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know who is speaking. I don't know who. Again, it's just via Enterprise Center interview room. Again, it's still that they want this to be in person. So it tells me it's not. It cannot. Again, can it be a bad press conference? Like again, it's like I gotta be with Tom Stillman. That's the owner. Sure, that can happen. But if it's Tom Stillman, Doug Armstrong, and another person, that it's going to be interesting too, because that other person might be a new player in the Blues front office, right?
Right. Hey, let me ask you this, Luis. What are your initial questions just going into this? I mean, what are you kind of formulating?
Again, it's what I'm thinking here is about, okay, so the move, whatever the move they make, it's how it's going to happen, how it's going to fasten the pace, because they want to say that it's a retool, but how is this going to fasten the pace of the retool/rebuilding? So it's not a 5-6 year process. Maybe it's a shorter process, right?
Right.
So that's why, again, this move, again, whatever move it will affect how long or short it's going to be this process where the Blues are in this purgatory mode where, yeah, they're not bad enough to get the first pick, but they're not good enough to, again, they're just good enough to be eliminated in game number 78 or 80 or 80, right?
Right. And that's a wonderful point, because you're right. I mean, if you're in the purgatory of that where you aren't getting, the first round draft pick, I mean, you really are looking at a longer process. You know, was this ever kind of floated? Was there ever any atmosphere in the locker room while the season was wrapping up that these, guys were thinking we're heading into next year kind of in uncharted waters, or kind of in this, kind of lull period of what happens next?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, again, not to the extent to make a major announcement regarding the front office, but again, so you got uncharted waters. You got what you got with your coach. Again, you signed Drew Bannister as your full-time coach. In some circles, it was a plan B sign because their plan A guy wasn't allowed to be signed by the NHL, and that will be the former Blues coach and former Blackhawks coach. That's just skipping my mind right now. Mm-hmm. But again, they failed to Drew Bannister, right? So that's good. But you know what you got in Drew. You know Drew is a player's coach. He has coached all of these young guys in Springfield, so he knows how to handle these young egos on the team, right? And this team is very young too. Again, yes, Parayko's getting older there, right? And But again, this team is young. It's very young. And Shen is your Pareko and Shen are your leaders, right? And those are your veteran leaders that won the cup with the team.
Well,
And then Bennington. And Bennington's still young, by the way, right? To a certain extent.
yeah,
But this team is young, and again, they're just trying to learn how to win again.
that's a good point too. It just, I think it's so bizarre because you're in this period too. I mean, you win the Stanley Cup 5 years ago, correct? That's 2019.
Yes.
You win the Stanley Cup 5 years ago, and you look up now. I mean, you were getting to a point where, I mean, I knew of season ticket holders that refused to go to the games at certain points last year or the following year or the previous year too. And so it's like when you start having that problem, I mean, number one, it shows you that you aren't as solid of a program that you really think. Like the Cardinals, we talked about it, that's going to take them a while before the bottom line really gets affected. But with the Blues, I mean, almost it kind of gave me vibes of that 2007 season. We had So Taguchi as the only fan in the damn stands, you know, and it's like that's the morale that these season ticket holders were having. Does this do anything for them when they see a move like this?
Again, it depends. Again, it depends what's the move. Again, it's creating very intrigue. It's creating again, it's generating talk. It's generating fan speculation. What's going on? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Right? I see even if it's Doug Armstrong just stepping away, I see fans that are saying, "Hey, I know the past 2 years were not good, but what he built in St. Louis that grabbed us the cup, hey, he should be celebrated each day here that he comes back afterwards."
Yeah.
So, again, fans want, again, fans know. Again, even last year, some reports, again, you said about fans not showing up. At certain points, fans showed up too. Again, even late in the season, it was, again, because you know what you get in hockey. It's going to be 2 hours and a half. If it goes to penalty shots, it's going to be 2:45. And then you're out in the building, right? It's still a party. It's still a good event. It's still an intimate crowd. Say this again, 18,000 people. It's again 18 crowd, but still, right, compared to a stadium when it's packed full for 48,000 people.
Right.
So it's still again, and the team last year actually played better than the team before, obviously, because the team 2 years ago
That was
were in the running for the first pick of the first round, and that's not good.
Right, and I think that's just my point. I mean, it's to me, it's good to know. Number one, you would never see John Mozeliak assuming both roles and just deciding, hey, I'm not good enough anymore, or we need to make a change. And I'm sorry, I'll say that here on the show. There is no way John Mozeliak, if this is what happens today, would do it. But it also shows that the Blues have ears and they're listening, you know? And I think that's a good thing, regardless of what the move is. I'm just assuming they are, like you, they're going to be making some type of announcement. They're listening and knowing they got to do something before the going gets really rough. And that's something the Cardinals really, I mean, not now, but a couple of months ago should have done better at.
Yeah, and again, going to the Cardinals, it's like, and people have to face music, right?
Yeah.
At this point, John Mozeliak's not getting fired. At this point, it's up to John Mozeliak when he wants to make a move, and maybe it's in 2 years, and maybe it's after this season. But he has control. Again, he's one of the few people that have that job security, and again, good for him because he has that track record. But again, and build it with Junior, not Junior, but Junior also, the Build-A-Wits, both of them basically love John Mozeliak they see him as a family member, right? So it's hard. Again, it's like that's why the whole phrase like, well, it's good to hire family, and then it's not good to hire family because if you hire family, it's tough to make a move, right?
Yeah, you know how.
And John Mozeliak wasn't family at first, but got brought into that family circle.
I'll say it. You've seen the movie Old Yeller.
Yeah.
Going forward, how are the Cardinals looking?
Again, they are in the middle of an important stretch of the season because right now they're going to play the Pittsburgh Pirates today at 1:15, and if they win this game, they get the series 2-1, whatever. But also on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday they face the Cubs. So a lot of important divisional games for the Cardinals here soon, right? So they have, if this is an important stretch of the season because it might dictate what they do not only obviously in June, but what they do with the trade deadline. And again, that makes either buyers or sellers, right? So the important also the team is getting healthier. I've been talking to Contreras the last 2 days, and he is slated again. It hasn't been announced, but he told me straight to my face that they're looking at the 18th for a rehab assignment in either AAA or AA. It just depends who's closest, right?
That's promising. And you know what? I'm kind of feeling a little bad about all the stuff I talked on Contreras last year. I'm just going to be honest. And, you know, if you ever talk to him, just know that I am sorry for calling him a whiny baby at one point in time. And glad that he's coming back because, oh, my God, Luis, we need him. Okay? I mean, we need him.
Contreras was dealt a bad hand last year because it wasn't his doing. There were certain players that were a whiny baby towards him.
Yep.
And he, again, and it's just all human, right?
I just want to.
He wasn't a bully. He was bullied. And the players that were getting bullied, that got or were doing the bullying, were traded. And you guys might think who's that person who was the ringleader.
I just want to point out that I will never apologize to Jack Flaherty as long as I live. I think that guy is a whiner and he's a loser. Anyway, Luis, wanted to talk to you a little.
There's a reason why he's stuck in Detroit.
Yeah, exactly. Going forward, I mean, so the Cardinals are at this point. I'm looking at standings, and I mean, yeah, the Central is what it is. You got the Brewers that are doing well, and you know, you got kind of us just kind of all tied for second place, you know, in that kind of slot. But you know, we're at a point now where the Phillies are running away with the East, but I don't see the Brewers running away with the Central. It happens every year in the Central where one team kind of pulls apart early and they fall apart right after the All-Star break. I mean, the relieving situation for the Brewers is top-notch. Brian Hudson was on fire. I haven't seen it the last couple of weeks, so I don't know. There's a lot of people doing great things, but do you think that this holds for the Brewers, who are normally known to kind of falter at some point in time?
Well, that's the thing. I told everybody, I know the Brewers have a 7.5 game lead in the division, but I know the Brewers have a 5-game losing streak in them some point this season, and that's going to be telling whenever they have that, which team is going to pounce. Obviously, Cardinals fans, you want the Cardinals to pounce on that position and just give it a good old try, right? But again, it's between the Cubs, Reds, Fire. Again, it's the whole division, right? The whole division is just bunched up, and that's the beautiful thing about the chaos of the Central. Yeah, it's not a great division, but all these teams right now are very, very similar. Again, the difference between second place and last place is half a game, basically.
Right.
So that's why it's good to have a bad division. It's good to have a third wild card because, again, if there was just if we were playing in the 2019 rules of the postseason,
we'd be done.
Basically, every race is settled, and then you have a lot of less teams in the wild card race.
Well, and too, that's a really good point because no one thinks about 2011. They think about the run. They don't realize how bad of a division it was in 2011. The
Cardinals in 2006 won the division with 80 what?
Exactly. You know what? It doesn't matter how damn good your division or how bad it is. It's all about the run you have and all the X factors that come into play. But Luis, let's talk. You got to get ready to go to this thing. I really appreciate you calling me on your drive in, but I really want to know. When are the St. Louis City SC players going to become winners again? Because it's been a month.
It's actually been a month, and it's amazing that we celebrate again. And their best performance in that month actually was the game at Miami where you're tied.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe you can do that. A lot of momentum going there to the next game and tied, and not only a tie at home, a very lackluster tie. It's not. It's again. I think this team is what it is. If they make the playoffs, it's going to be in the wild card as a 8th or 9th seed in the West, and they can just maybe again get hot and win this baby, like do it like NCAA tournament style, right? But it's just again,
This is bad. I mean, they have.
I think here's the thing. It's long enough. The season started in February, late February. It's the middle of June. We know what this team is right now.
Yep.
That's how I'm gonna say. I think this team is gonna be this team again.
You're right.
They're not gonna have bad losses, but they're gonna have bad ties.
You know what? That's a good way to look at it, and that's actually I like that kind of thought on it. Hey, just wanted to point out for the folks at home going, man, CJ, you really turned your attention from the Cardinals to St. Louis City quick. Here's why: 2 wins in 2 months, and you guys are pro players. And I mean, like Luis said, these are just bad ties. I mean, just awful, awful, awful ties. Enter Miami, you play them well, but it's it's just depressing. It's deflating. But what I think's still cool, though, Luis, is that the fans haven't really given up hope yet. And if you're right, if these guys get a wild card spot, maybe that's the motivation. Cardinal, I don't know how he or Parnell, whatever his damn name is. I don't know
Cardinal.
how. Yeah,
Cardinal.
Yeah, right. I don't know if that's what he uses for motivation. I don't know what he talks to these guys like. But I mean, if you make it in a wild card spot, you just give the speech, "Hey, they didn't expect us to be here, so make some noise and let them know we were." And maybe that's what carries you through. I just can't see anything more like you said.
Yeah, again, it's gonna be tough to do that, but yeah, it's. Yeah, it is what it is, and again, maybe you can do like Kansas City did to you guys last year, right?
Right.
They just barely got in, and they won a series.
So before I take a quick pause and say goodbye to you, breaking news from the AP Wire, our partnership with them. The Supreme Court has officially thrown out that case for mifepristone, preserving access to that widely used abortion medication. We'll have more for you on the AP Wire coming out throughout the next couple of hours. So just stay tuned to RiverBender.com /news. All right, Luis, go have fun. See who's getting canned.
Cool, I will.
We'll take a quick break. Hey, by the way, you got to watch the on-demand on this. I found a good picture for you. I mean, this is like mint. We'll take a quick break. Daily Show comes back to you right here on this Thursday morning in downtown Alton.